Welcome to the College Investor Audio Show, where we talk about the biggest issues impacting millennial money, from student loan debt to side hustles to building wealth. We will show you how to get out of debt so that you can build real wealth for the future.
Choosing the right tax software is like picking the right peanut butter at the grocery store. My goodness, how many options there are. Yowza! Today, we take a look at TaxAct, zero in a bit on the alternatives if you've been kicking around the idea of using this software for your situation. Here are 5 other popular choices for you. Yeah, it's a little bit daunting to pick the right and the best tax filing software for you. TaxAct is one of the best tax software options available, which is going to help you file both simple and complex returns and even guarantees you a maximum refund. But it's not your only option. TaxAct has some stout competition, and while its affordability used to be a big draw for customers, over the last 2 years, they've increased their prices substantially without doing much to improve the product. Plus, TaxAct has one of the most limited free file options this year, even with their prices going up and up. That's leaving some to look for TaxAct alternatives. Maybe that's you. So today we take a deeper look at this software, and then we put it to the test against its competitors to help you choose the best tax software this filing season for your situation. We do have a chart that's kind of hard to talk about on a podcast that you can see at thecollegeinvestor.com that easily breaks down each of the different tax software products and kind of looks at their free version details, pricing, live support, and audit support as well. You can find that inside this article at thecollegeinvestor.com. But let's move on to breaking down a little bit the TaxAct software. TaxAct used to be one of the least expensive filing software options, but that's changed a bit over the last several years. Of course, pricing starts at nothing, and it's best for basic tax returns or use by experienced filers. Here are a few things you need to know about TaxAct. The free edition is ideal for individual filers with simple situations. Federal is free. State costs $39.95 even on the free tier. That's a bit pricey. The deluxe plan is ideal for moderately complex tax situations. Federal filing costs $46.95, each state filing $54.95 extra. The Premier plan is ideal for the most complex situations, except for self-employed individuals and other business owners. Federal filing costs $69.95, and each state filing is $54.95. The self-employed option has all the features of the Premier plan plus audit defense and other features for $94.95, and state filing costs $54.95. Compared to previous years, TaxAct has increased the price of their federal product and increased the price of their state product too. And they're charging for state on the free tier to one of the highest in the industry. Plus, TaxAct's user experience and customer support are quite unimpressive compared to its major competitors. Come on, guys! You don't have to worry, however, if TaxAct doesn't meet your expectations because, oh yeah, there are many alternative options you can try. They include TurboTax, H&R Block, Tax Slayer, Free Tax USA, and Cash App Taxes. So let's compare each of those with TaxAct so you can choose the best one for you. First in the ring, TurboTax. Both TaxAct and TurboTax offer multiple options of paid editions, which support increasingly complex tax situations. Both providers offer 4 paid plans. If you opt to add on-screen human assistance via TurboTax Live, you'll need to pay an additional $79 to $199, depending on the plan and return type you're using. For both providers, the free plan allows you to file a 1040 and one state return. However, you aren't allowed to itemize or file any of the schedules 1 to 6. That means the free plans can only work for you if you're not looking to claim any credits or deductions except for the child tax credit or earned income tax credit. When it comes to features and ease of use, boy, TurboTax would easily be your best choice here. In fact, TurboTax is usually considered the most user-friendly tax filing software on the market today. Its interview-style tax prep interface gives things and keeps things simple and easy to follow. TurboTax also wins when it comes to customer support, thanks to that TurboTax Live we talked about. With this feature, you can have face-to-face chat with an expert. TaxAct also offers tax experts and access to them, but you can't have a face-to-face conversation with them. Keep in mind that you have to incur more costs to enjoy TurboTax's cutting-edge customer support. Overall, TurboTax has the following pricing tiers: nothing for the free tier, $59 for the deluxe tier, $89 for the premier tier, and $119 self-employed tier. You can also expect to pay $49 per state tax return. Overall, TaxAct would be a better option for you as it costs slightly less but can get a great deal of work done. If you do prefer face-to-face support, however, you can decide to dig deeper into your pocket and invest in TurboTax. Next in the ring, H&R Block. Ding, ding, ding. I need a bell. I really do when we're doing these things, Anyway, both TaxAct and H&R Block allow you to file federal and state taxes, but you're going to have to pay just a little bit more for H&R Block. However, once you price in state tax filing fees with TaxAct this year, the pricing is very similar. Moreover, both providers offer free e-filing, a service that lets you send your tax returns to the state and IRS electronically. Overall, it's slightly less expensive to file with TaxAct. Nonetheless, you can still save some money with H&R Block's free version as it supports the regular Form 1040 and Schedule A. This means more income and deductions are support for free. This year, H&R Block pricing is as follows. The free version is, of course, free, deluxe at $54.99, premium $74.99, and self-employed $114.99. You'll also pay $44.99 per state return you need to file. When it comes to features and ease of use, TaxAct's interface is somewhat unappealing, but it does give you access to all the basic features. You'll also get help throughout your tax prep process, but the help is less detailed compared to what you get from H&R Block. H&R Block boasts a straightforward and easy-to-use interface. It also offers adequate help during the preparation process. The software can direct you to a searchable knowledge base and links to important resources. With either software, you can import W-2s, which helps to save time. However, H&R Block also allows for 1099 imports. Both providers also provide tools with which you can calculate the deduction values of charitable donations. And then when it comes to customer support, H&R Block could be a better option. They have physical locations all over the country. If you're okay with getting advice online, however, you can capitalize on the help options TaxAct has to offer. The good thing is that both providers offer access to actual tax experts. Overall, TaxAct offers a slightly better deal if you don't mind the absence of face-to-face customer support for federal taxes. However, if you feel you're going to need some help and don't mind the extra cost that comes with it, you're going to want to go with H&R Block. TaxAct versus TaxSlayer is next. If you have to choose between these two and you're budget conscious, then you'd be a lot better off with TaxSlayer since it's a little bit less expensive. The cheapest paid package for TaxSlayer will cost you $29.95. TaxAct will cost you $46.95. TaxSlayer has the following pricing tiers this year. Of course, they have the free version, the classic version for $29.95, $49.95 premium, and $59.95 self-employed version. You can also expect to pay $39.95 per state. Plus, TaxSlayer unlocks all the tax forms and options at their lowest price point, Classic, so you get a ton more value. If you prefer more features to enjoy a better tax filing experience, go ahead and go with TaxSlayer. When it comes to user-friendliness, TaxSlayer generally provides a great user experience. Nonetheless, TaxAct has a simpler interface and is a little bit more user-friendly of the two. Slightly, TaxSlayer's come a long way. For real. You can dive deeper into TaxSlayer and all of the different software we talk about today at thecollegeinvestor.com. All right, next on our list, Free Tax USA. They have long been an underdog in the tax software market, and we love rooting for the underdog, don't we? But it has a devout following due to its simple pricing model. Free Tax USA offers the simple flat pricing: federal, free, and a flat $14.99 per state. That's it. They also offer a deluxe version for $7.99, which includes audit support. Boom! So this is, of course, much lower than what you get at any tier of TaxAct, and frankly, Free Tax USA is as easy to use, and maybe even easier to use than TaxAct. No joke. If you have to choose between the two, you might be better off saving the money and going ahead and using Free Tax USA. Let's move on to Cash App Taxes, one of the newest tax software options, and it's also the only option that is truly free for both federal and state returns. Cash App Taxes is the lowest priced tax software because they offer truly free federal and state returns. Like, there's no fine print, it's free. However, you might be disappointed in what the free actually gets you. Cash App Taxes doesn't allow for tax filing in multiple states. It doesn't support any foreign earned income. There may be other tax situations that it doesn't support as well. If you have any complexity in your return, TaxAct is probably the better choice. But for simple returns, Cash App Taxes is definitely a compelling alternative. Very user-friendly as well. So which alternative to TaxAct is best for you? All that said, TaxAct used to be one of the cheapest tax filing options out there. But that's of course changed in recent years. With the higher federal and state prices, might make it a little bit more difficult to use TaxAct compared to all the alternatives we talked about today. TurboTax is of course very simple to use and offers a wide selection of features, including a ton of bank and brokerage import features that most others don't have, and robust customer support. If you're not experienced in tax filing, this could be an ideal option for you. Keep in mind that it costs more than TaxAct, though. H&R Block stands out from the rest because it gives you the option to visit one of their offices spread across the country if you need any help. It also has an intuitive interface and uses simple language. Finally, both Free Tax USA and Cash App Taxes offer low-priced or free tax filing options that work well for simple tax returns. TaxAct provides a good middle ground experience among the providers when it comes to cost, usability, and customer service, but you're typically probably better off with one of the other software packages we talked about today. The key, once again, is knowing your needs and your budget and then choosing your tax software accordingly. Dive really deep into all things tax software at thecollegeinvestor.com. We have in-depth reviews of all of the things we talked about today, plus a whole lot more. Again, it's thecollegeinvestor.com. You can follow us all over social media, get to know us. We'd love to get to know you and be friends. Just search for The College Investor wherever you are, and we're probably there too. Thanks again for stopping by today, and we'll talk to you again real soon.